Sometimes I enjoy a bit of controversy. So a video appeared on my TikTok view page. Now I know not all videos um, are accurate, or for us, it could be just comes up on your feed. But it piqued my curiosity because, to be honest, there was a recent like that I just looked and thought that was a bit. I had a weird feeling with it. I thought that's a strange person. Really, I just thought that might be someone monitoring something. But anyway, so the video comes up and it points towards a karmic or something that's they feel you're perhaps cheating on with someone or something. And I'm like, what on earth is this shit? So I'm watching the video and I just found it humorous because anyone that knows me knows that um, I have ridiculous amount of integrity that I've it's just not even going to happen. There's only one person my heart is even centered on, and that person lives in a completely different country. I've made it clear through my videos, absolutely clear. I do not want to talk to anybody that's in a relationship. I am not prepared to have a relationship built on something negative, really, because I think once it's built on that, that's really what it's known for, and that's what that will always be stigmatized with it, So it's when two people are freely available, then we can freely talk. If they're not available, then we can't talk. It doesn't mean they'll come to me even when they are available. Just for me personally, that's the person I'm attracted to. That's the person who holds my heart in the present moment. Can it change? Of course it can. So that's life. That's life. They live in a completely different country to me. And I already had a connection to that person in the past anyway. And I've spoken about it so many times. I'm not going to keep going around on a loop, but maybe some people aren't aware. So I met said person in 2021. I just finished writing Losing Mind to Find Your Soul. It was through a mutual friend. I didn't realize, I didn't know who I knew of their name, never knew who they were personally, never knew their profile. This the person who I was talking to at the time, like a friend. Um, they just kept talking about them an awful lot, and so I started to understand a little bit more about their story. That person commented on one of my videos when I released the book, and then from there I helped him through a lot of things. Like we got talking, building a friendship, which rapidly was escalating because we both enjoying each other's conversations and things. It was just vibing off each other beautifully. Again, different countries, not simple. And in the end, I've helped him with certain situations. They've given me different perspectives on things. It was a beautiful connection, in my opinion. But sometimes things lead us apart. Things were going too fast, too soon. They had to go through their healing journey. I'd been on my healing journey for a long time. So, of course, my point of view, I'm sort of ready. I've waited a long time for this sort of connection. So I was ready to throw myself into it because they weren't. And then we went our own ways for a period. I went off, got focused on a job and improving my life. And then when I returned to TikTok, so I took myself away from TikTok, returned, and then straight away they said I was looking for you, but you weren't here. Straight away, they just told me immediately, like, I'm in a relationship. I was like, okay, you didn't really have to tell me that because at that point, we just you just know each other. We're not in a relationship. But of course, in my mind, this is the one that's been on my mind, so it was disappointing. But it's like, what can you do? I'm not going to sort of start crying about it to them. I might put pressure on them. It's like they're in a relationship. You have to respect that. But yeah, it was deflating. But then at that point, I decided immediately that I'm not going to be the one to instigate conversations. In the past, I could because they were free. It was like nice. You could literally have freely communicate without any boundaries or obstructions. It was just beautiful. Now all of a sudden, I've got this person in the way, and it's a roadblock because it's not normal, is it? If someone's, if you imagine it. Let's say they're sitting on the sofa or something, and they're just enjoying time together. Don't need me popping up in the bloody messages. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not going to do that. So in the end, we just sort of it just fizzled out. Then later on that year, I just started obsessing about that connection because I just knew they were my person. So I was making videos. I wasn't posting them to them, didn't tag them. I was just making videos on my own personal profile, saying what I think of this like my connection and stuff, who I consider my soulmate. And I think, to be honest, they probably saw it, and I think it triggered them. So back in February so this year, 2024. They either blocked me or deleted their account. I actually think it was blocked me. Personally, in my heart, I don't think it was either them trying to create some boundary because they have to focus on their own life, which makes sense. If you're trying to build a future with someone, it's up to them. Or the partner was just, you have to pick them or me, which makes sense because if you're in a relationship, this should be where you're building here. Otherwise, what the hell are we doing? I get that. So there, that was February. Now we're in, what we're in, I'm losing track. We're in October now. I haven't heard from them at all. Not a damn word. But I always have spirit with me. I get a lot of signs. It's crazy. I have my own personal feelings towards things. Like I said at the start, I feel that my connection. I've had a lot of I've had sessions here with my spirit guides, angels, whatever you want to call it. You know, some people are not going to believe any of that, but I've had it and they've confirmed that's my person. So I get a bit fed up waiting because it's like, you know what? The longer they're not here, the longer they're with the wrong person, and then I have to sort of deal with the mental anguish that they're with someone. You know what I mean? Like, it's not cheating because they were single when they met them, but it was kind of like a bit distasteful for me because I thought we was healing and then we was going to come together. Instead, they chose a different path. And me, as an overthinker, it weighs on my mind far deeper because then I start thinking, wait a minute, if you could, you would. So that means you was planning potentially. If you're in a relationship with someone, it escalates. Eventually, you get married. Now, I don't know. Maybe they are married to them. For me personally, and I'm going to be totally honest here, if they're married to that person, then then we've got no chance of going together. I would say, like, yeah, I don't see how it could, because to me that's just the level of commitment is out. It's crazy. It's one thing getting in a relationship with someone and you're building towards a future with them, which I can understand. That's what you're in a relationship for. But if it gets to the point where someone asks you to marry them and then you end up engaged and even getting married, it's like, wow, you was going that far. You literally, so that means I'm not even in your thought process at all. And even if I am, I'm like an afterthought. I don't want to be someone's afterthought. Again, I think so deep about it that I will go there. Um, there has to be limits. There has to be limits. I can't be someone's second choice. But these are the levels I set. So when I say I wouldn't do cheating and stuff, I wouldn't, because it's the morals I set. It's the integrity I have of myself. And it's the reality is I will not have a relationship built on a shaky foundation. It's not going to happen, because, you know, if things are like going to happen, for instance, so if you was to cheat on someone, what's to say they wouldn't do it to you? You know, that's really important. And I'm not saying that now. Look, I'm saying I think I consider that person my person. So I hold them integral. I hold them to a very high standard. It's like I don't consider them like that at all. So it's not an accusation, but the point is, it's like, for me, things should be built on a stable foundation, which means both people are single, free to talk to each other. There's no shady shit. I'm not interested in shady shit. So it's not going to happen. Anyway, so now I'm getting signs that there's some people involved with. So let's say this person's in a relationship with someone. The one they're in a relationship with apparently has got people monitoring my profiles or looking online and stuff. I don't know if that's true, but it's like, if it is, pathetic. Because to be honest, one-on-one with people in arguments and things, I'm very intelligent, so I do quite well. So sometimes it's a bit too easy. So sometimes I do like a challenge. So it's like fun for me. It stimulates my mind. Well, sometimes my mind gets bored. So when I get challenged, oh yes, now we get to play. Let's play, baby. We can play all day like a freaking fiddle, you know. And that's what I'm like. So it doesn't intimidate me. It doesn't. I just actually it brings me to life. You know, I've been through family court where I was accused of emotional abuse by my ex, who I supported through incredibly difficult stages of their life, like incredibly challenging moments. But they use that as a way to validate an experience to try to shift the situation into their favor. Everything was it was just a completely narcissistic plot to try to destabilize me, ruin my character to get everything they want. No consideration of the impact it has, obviously, on my mental health and my mental well-being, but also our child's perception of self, you know, of me. So that's ridiculous. But my daughter's never swayed, and I didn't give up. So if people think, for instance, he's going to shy away and hide, I don't hide from shit. I had to go in front of a judge and sort of like fight for clear my name, in a sense, you know, as I continue at the same time, parallel with fighting for my daughter. No one's going to accuse me of shit without me speaking on it. I kid you not. That is not going to happen. So if I can take on the court system and fight for my daughter, I guarantee I can fight anything. So it's not even a problem for me. There's nothing in this world that's going to be harder than that. I don't give a shit what tries to come at me. I honestly couldn't care less. Fighting for my daughter in the family court to clear my name against really, really, really disgusting accusations. That's why I'm as relentless as I am, because there's nothing on this planet that's going to be more challenging than that. And here I am, baby. And I was brave enough to share my story. Not just once, twice. And I continue speaking upon it now. So what I would say is, anyone that comes against me, just recognize that I don't hide. and you may be the talking point for a lot longer than you anticipated. Believe me. So like people might come and think, oh, I'm going to say this and I'm going to try and destabilize them. Motherfucker, just understand, I could be talking about this for the next 10, 20 years. Your name will not disappear. Your situation will be immortalized because I'll make sure of it. You know, everything's a teaching tool. If I find something's useful for teaching others, I will damn well use that tool. So anyway, to accuse anyone of anything would be really ridiculous when you have no facts, because how can you have facts when it didn't happen? But the person who I consider my person hasn't reached out to me, and I bloody well will not reach out. There's no way in hell I'm reaching out, because it's not, because how can I reach out? That's the thing. I don't know their circumstance. Are they in a relationship? Are they engaged? Are they married? I don't know the depth or whether they are still in said situation. How can I reach out to someone when I've already made it clear that I will not get involved in something like that? It's like adultery and shit. I don't do that. So how can I be the one to reach out to someone when I don't know their status? It's stupid. And that person would know damn well, do not try to deceive me. That'd be the worst thing anyone can do. If you're in a relationship, then don't reach out. If you're at the precipice of leaving a relationship and you're really, really at wit's end and you're struggling, you have no support, then, I mean, that's more ambiguous. It's like you could probably help in that situation because you're not doing it from a weird angle, but you're trying to be a support for them. That's a bit different, but be honest at the beginning, you know. This is my situation. And it's like, right, okay. You know, at that point, it makes it a bit challenging. So I'd rather not get involved if I can help it. But anyway, so everybody would know. So what are we going to do? Got my divination. As you can see, I've got a second camera running, so you can see my cards as they come out. Spirit's just throwing shit out now. So we've got death, which is death, rebirth, new beginnings. We've got options and broken heart. Now, I haven't even asked a question yet, but as you would have noticed, I was shuffling for a little bit with nothing, and that's what happens. If I don't ask a question, they ain't likely to answer nothing, are they? But when I'm talking, they can, because they can interject with a situation. So, again, I'm only creating this video as a little bit of fun for myself, really, because I saw this video and I just thought, challenge accepted, baby. Now, maybe people ain't following, stalking me. Maybe they ain't, but then why do I give a shit if they do? You know, I can do some new viewers. We can do some new viewers. You're helping me. Help me, help you. The reality is, I talk about this all the time. There's no point getting obsessed with things, because we all know inherently whether a relationship's working or not. It's not for me to get involved in someone else's relationship. But if someone's scared that someone might be leaving them or deceiving or something, it's like, have some integrity in yourself. If you don't trust someone, what the fuck are you doing in a relationship with them? Now, I'm swearing because I find it jokeable. It's laughable. This is people's ego, They get trapped in their ego. All of a sudden, the fact that someone might not want to be with them anymore or something, it affects their morale, you know? All of a sudden, I have to have it. It's because someone else is interested. So it's almost like that petulant freaking only child who doesn't like to share. It's selfish, you know? So it's like, oh my God. So it's effectively, when someone wants something, guess what? They want it even more. Even though they're probably not even interested, because if a relationship's in decline, we all know what it's like in a situation like that. What's the point of trying to cling to it? I'm not saying that's the situation, but if someone's stalking me scared of shit and they're worried and they're insecure, it's like there's obviously something not right here. What? With me, as much as it would break my heart if someone wants to leave, I'm so healed now that I'm not clinging to shit. If someone wants to leave, it doesn't me letting them go isn't me not caring. They may perceive it that way, but it's like I've got too much integrity for myself. I only want people that genuinely respect me, you know, and want to be with me. Other than that, I don't. Where someone goes after is none of my business. I'm just focused on my own journey, you know. And I think obsessing about what other people are doing and their whereabouts and what's happening, you got to ask yourself, like, how highly do you rate yourself? Because if you're that low that you're sort of like, you're effectively being weak. That's not really valuing yourself, and it's not about harming someone else or derailing their happiness, because it doesn't serve a purpose apart from inflating an ego. It's so irrelevant, you know, it's pointless. So we'll ask the question before I get on with this video. I'm going to show a little bit of it. I've already asked the question, so I know the person knows of me, as I've asked in the past. Is their partner aware of me? And I got the star cards, so they actually hire me, they hold me in high regard, weirdly enough. They know my potential pretty much. They know how intelligent I am, I guess, and how talented or potential I have to be successful. Right, let's ask, because cancel that. In the past, I asked, was they watching me? And they said no. So I was like, okay. And that wasn't that long ago. So if they're watching me now, maybe things are shifting that I'm not aware of, although partly aware of because I get a lot of tarot readings come up all the bloody time. So I know more than, I wouldn't say more than I let on because I'm always talking about it. But even if you just look at my last video, I said I'm not dealing with this shit anymore. I'm focusing up until Christmas now, until the new year, on just relaxing. I'm not putting pressure on myself anymore. I'm sick and tired of the pressure I exert on my own mind to have the life I want when it just doesn't seem to be happening. What can I do? You know, I don't want to keep beating myself up about things like with a high expectation. Sometimes we've got to just allow ourselves a little bit of freedom to relax. Anyway, wait a minute, I've got to try and weed this right because I don't know if they're still in a relationship. So what I've asked is the person they what are or was in a relationship watching me? I didn't want to say their name. So that's why I didn't. That's why I do it. Mind's just a powerful tool. You don't have to say things out loud. Page of Pentacles. That suggests they are watching me. Ah, the four at the bottom. It's like a leap of faith on a new journey. So they are watching me because they're potentially aware of the other person ready to take a leap of faith. Interestingly, I did ask in the past where, like my person, who I consider my person, where are they at on their journey? Like, what do they consider me? And they saw me as a king. When I was on their journey, at that present moment, they were a page, but they were aiming to be a knight to come into me, to come towards. And recently I said, what is their status now? Like, what stage are they at? Because obviously it's healing. But they are actually a knight now. But it was the Knight of Pentacles. So I think that was the Page of Pentacles. Is with the Karmic, whatever, the one that's watching me, Page of Pentacles. So the Pentacles are slow. So that's what it is. They're just like a meandering watching me. But yeah, my person, who I consider my person, they're now the Knight of Pentacles. So slow moving, but it's stable, you know, and grounded. So yeah, for me, that's progress. It means if we were to come together, it's getting closer. That's nice because I can't wait forever. Oh wow, the karma. Karma is temperance. So that's almost like divine balance. I always think balance, but there's more connotations to that. That is that very divinely guided healing. Mm. Oh wow, Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords. Yeah, goosebumps. Because they were a knight, but I think they consider me the Queen of Swords because I'm very outspoken. I'm a communicator, but I'm very quick to cut things off. You know, see it all in the card. Okay. But anyway, so we know they're watching. Right, I've got to figure the question. So I've asked, does the person they were or are in a relationship with have other people watching me? Well, I've got 8 of Swords and 4 of Swords. I'm not sure if that suggests they are watching me. Again, we had the one where they would leap of faith. Didn't we? We had the full leap of faith. You got this one where you're walking away. You know, walking away from sort of drama and all that. You know, you don't. But when we've got these two now, one is quite heavily trapped, like feeling stuck, absolutely stuck. You've got a blindfold, but you've also got all these swords around. But you really, with those ones, you can actually transcend beyond it. But then you've got this one here that looks incredibly. Oh, not that one. This one looks sneaky, like jealous. In terms of yes and no cards, these are more of the no cards. But when I'm asking the question, the feeling I'm getting around this is that they see me as a threat. And all swords. That's interesting. So again, swords is communication, but swords also hurt. Yeah. Not sure if they have people watching, in all honesty, just by the way the cards were, but it points towards they feel very hurt. They do feel hurt, and they feel it's like I'm the eye of their frustration and anger, which makes sense. Yeah, nine of wands. I think nine of wands is like the wounded warrior, isn't it? So you've been through things. Again, bottom of the deck, same bloody card. Again, I had to star for them. Let's see what they consider me now, because I'm curious. Seven of cups. Usually you'd say that's options, but it's also like multiple skills, so multi-talented. So they consider me as someone. That's interesting. At the moment, they see me as someone either with multiple talents or multiple options. So if they are watching me, they're more aware of my situation than they did before, because they weren't watching me before, because I had the card saying that. Now it looks like they're potentially monitoring me. And you can see I got a blindfold. It's like feeling frustrated with your situation where you can't see what's coming. It's not quite clear what's happening, you know, and I think that's really what this is showing, which makes sense because that's my circumstance. Interesting. What we got the back? Oh, or was that the back? Oh, no, that was the back, wasn't it? Two of Swords, but after that we got the Ace of Pentacles. Um, let's find out, what does my person think of me? Yeah, okay. In the past, I had Empress and things. It was like, all beautiful. Of course, circumstances in the present dictate differences. This is actually quite interesting. So what they're saying is, it actually makes me laugh. So I'm going to show them one at a time rather than this. It'd be easier. So you've got, it's like you've been working hard, but you're not seeing the bounty yet. You know, you're still frustrated. You've been working hard, but not really seeing the result yet. I think it's 7, isn't it? Yeah, 7. So it's not quite there, but it's going to grow. So obviously, once it goes to 8, that means the things you've been working on, you're becoming incredibly successful. So it's on the precipice of that, but I'm not there, and I'm frustrated as shit. That's what they're seeing with me. That makes sense, doesn't it? Magician, literally creating your own reality. You can literally create whatever it is you want. Wield magic. And then also very feisty, defending myself. That's funny because based on this video, it makes absolute sense. What's on the back of the deck? High priestess, very spiritually gifted, very, very wise, very spiritual. That's nice. That's how they see me at the moment. That's nice. Tells more of a story than just giving me the Empress. But anyway, I know the video's gone on quite a while. Oh, wow. The world. So it's like the completion of cycles, but also, it's like every season there, look. That's someone that can achieve an awful lot, That's nice. Oh, wow. And King of Wands. Very charismatic, attractive. I'll take it. Inspiring. And underneath that was the King of Swords. That's weird. You've got two kings, one after another. That makes sense. King of Swords and the King of Thingy. So that's incredibly wise, intelligent, logical, literally cut people off quite quick. So I'm very firm, but I'm very charismatic, attractive, inspiring. That's nice. I'll take that. I'll take that. This is going to be a fun one. I might as well distract while I'm here. What do I think of me? What do I think of me? What do I think of me? Ace of Cups. I have a lot of love to give. Emotions. That's nice. That's what I think of myself. Yeah. I can be fiery and I can be feisty, and that's that defense side of me coming out. And I enjoy that sometimes because life can be boring. But in a nutshell, yeah, I have a pure heart. That's nice. I love that. Oh, yeah. And the hangman. Always stuck. Always frustrated. Yeah. 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 That's current energy, That's literally where I'm at. Hangman all day long. I'm stuck in limbo. What's all my videos been saying? Love that. Right. What do I think of my person? What do I think of? Oh, Six of Cups. Reminiscing the past. Think of the memories. I like that. They're on my mind more than I wish they were. Yeah, it's just the way it is. I kind of wish I didn't have that. It's tormenting. Yeah, Six of Wands. That's interesting. Six of Swords and then Six of Wands. So it's Six of Swords. So, okay, what was I asking them? I'm lost now. What do I think of them? Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So what I think of them is reminiscing the past because I think about them a lot and I think about the memories. But I also think that they will walk away from something. They've had enough suffering in their life, which is all the swords. They've had all the betrayals. They've been through enough heartache. I think it's time to walk away now. It's time to move forward towards your happiness and let go of all those things behind because I know what they've been through. Not for me to mention it. And then literally the Six of Wands come out, which is the victory celebration. Not a celebration, victory recognition. I see that with them. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Do you know what I mean? That's what I like about tarot. So if anyone wants to screw with me, I'll just pull my cards out. Ask Spirit, what's going on? What do you think? Sometimes I ask Spirit about, I'll ask Spirit's opinion on someone. For instance, I could do that now. What do my spirit guides think of my person? So I actually said their name after in my head. Again, so this is after I was asking about myself and I was asking about the people. Now I'm asking my guys specifically, what do you think? What do you think of that person? What's you thinking? They've literally got divine healing. But look at the angel wings. They see them as healing and balance. Then they get in there, Literally, you can see the jugs. They're just constantly exchanging energies. They bring balance. I get goosebumps. Oh, yeah. Nine of Swords. They are exhausted. That's the thing. You don't if you're not spiritual, you won't understand. Believe me, I'm incredibly spiritual, as you can see through this. They can give me answers on everything. I'll know what someone's thinking. I'll know what someone's doing. I don't sit here doing this all the time about people. Believe me, I've got better things to do than sort of delve too deep into people. But I can get answers just like everybody else can, I assume. If it depends how much healing you've done, just get them a book, Lose Your Mind to Find Your Soul. You soon go on a spiritual path. And the reality is, you read my books, you realise you don't do it for negative. It's not about destabilising or taking something from someone else. It's about just establishing myself in whatever path I'm supposed to be on and following it. Effectively, fulfill my life purpose in this lifetime. Anything else beyond that, I have no interest in. So if this person is supposed to be by my side through my life purpose, you bet your ass I'm going to keep thinking about them. If it's just a random person you're just attracted to, I can let that go. But this person's supposed to be my queen. We're literally supposed to be each other's king and queen, and we're supposed to go off and do some amazing things. Right now, my queen has gone AWOL. It's like, wait, where the hell is she? And that's why it gets frustrating. It's that heavy. This is not just someone. This is not just like a page or something. No, this is like literally, this is your person, and someone else is clinging on to them because they're desperate for you not to have it, even though that's not their queen. It's not for me to say that, of course, but they'll know that internally that that's not their one. But which means the longer you're with the wrong one, guess what? You're going to have longer without the one you're supposed to be with. But also, Spirit's just going to screw it all up all over the place because they're going to keep pulling them towards me because because it's supposed to be the bloody union. That's why I'm keeping myself grounded and centered so I don't go AWOL. Imagine that. We never freaking come together. I can't remember what the question was now, but just got 5 of cups. Don't know if I asked anything. I don't know. But anyway, we'll watch a little bit of this video. I know it's been a freaking long video. I weren't going to do this. It wasn't even supposed to be anything. We just watch a little bit now. It's based on what I've just done. The reading I just give, and let's just see what she says now.
Collective, why is the Karmics friends gang stalking you right now? Creeping on you right now, looking you up. I told you, I'm always right on the money, aren't I? Researching you, studying you, getting information on you. I feel like your name has been said and brought up in some kind of conversation, and they went to their friends to like get more dirt. Now, either you have this person blocked or they are refusing to see what you're doing, because I don't know. I feel like they made some kind of story up of like, I don't even care what they're up to, but like clearly they care because they're getting their friends involved. Something about Google too. Something about Google. Yeah, your name was brought up, wants you back. For some reason, they believe your person in separation wants you back. They went to their friends upset about it. So it's like they're trying to come back with some intel to see if you're in some kind of situation with someone else or if there's like signs that you two are talking. What? Divination abuser? Okay.
No, divination.
And travel. This person, your person separation, may have even went on like some kind of trip to like go see someone, or it's for business or something like that. And like, they are suspect that they went and seen you. Snuck out and seen you.
Bit hard to sneak out and see someone a million miles away, and I've got other things to do. I'm not interested. Like I said, I'm not interested in all this promiscuous shit. It's not going to happen. I've got a daughter to focus on. I've got a career to build. I'm not derailing myself left, right, and centre for some sort of dodgy scenario. Someone has to come to me correct or don't come at all. That's literally how it is. My standards are that high. At the end of the day, I am being assertive as I can. I'm holding myself. Like I said, I consider them my queen. But that means, on my side, I'm a king. I'm the king in my life. A king does not run around doing this shit. The king says, I am here. And I would love you to be by my side. But you either come correct or don't come at all. That's levels. I don't do none of this shady shit.
And I understand this person is sending you not just like their karmic-y friends after you. They're doing work on you. So understand, dark magic can be simply like just saying like negative things out into the universe about someone. Oh yeah, they think that you're having an affair. I'm not going to get into if you actually are or not, because I think that defeats like what the actual purpose of this message is.
What I would say is if we was having an affair, let's be honest, if we was having an affair, they would already be with me. That's the reality, isn't it? So if anything had happened between us, I have no doubt that would have just instigated an immediate relationship. Because the connection is that strong, and I just think they've been running away from it for a period. And I think once we connect together, we come together, I just don't think we separate. So if someone thinks, "Oh, I think that's happened," I think that it's like, don't be naive, mate, because if that's happened, they wouldn't have left. They wouldn't have left. You wouldn't have seen them again. Do you know? And so I'm not doing any of that shady shit. So anyway, let's just be realistic here. The idea that you cheat or something, and they just keep returning back where they come from, where they're miserable. Why would they keep going back? Think about it logically. What would be the point? That's not me trying to put things on a pedestal here or saying I'm incredible. It's just that I do consider them my counterpart. And when counterparts finally come together, they're really not going to want to run away from each other when it's, you know, material shit doesn't matter in that point. It's irrelevant. You can always replace material things. A TV, really, does it matter? A car, does it really matter? You know, all these things are just shit. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter in life.
But there is a conversation that the karmic believes in telling their friends that something romantically is going on between you two. You two are partying. Oh yeah, this is like, it's already been decided. So like they're trying, yeah, it's already been dusted off. They're trying to figure out if you are in a connection with someone, how to like ruin that too for you. To be like, oh, you know what they do? They're running off with fucking groupie shit. I like the groupie shit ain't shit. This is just, it feels like just a gaggle of friends that are causing mischief, and like none of them have 2 cents to rub together. Rejected. And for some of you, this person's separation may have made advances at you while still in a karmic connection, but I don't feel like you really, you entertained it. And that's not for everybody, but some of you did. Some of you didn't refuse to entertain that. But this gaggle of, I swear, they are coming for you. Just know that they are definitely coming for you. Look at all of this, because they are convincing themselves that not only does this person want you back, but they're making moves to get closer to you. So we're going to go to part 2 and just dive into all of that.
I haven't seen part 2, but yeah. I haven't heard from said person since February. And even then, it wasn't even deep conversations. So it wasn't. I know they was going through a period where I think it was like Christmas last year. There was issues with the relationship somehow. I can't remember exactly what it was. I think there was finances and all sorts. And they were doing their best to support the person because the person was going through something. And that's all I heard. I didn't know. I can't remember the extent of it because it's none of my business. I don't get involved in people's personal stuff like that. It doesn't interest me. I'll try and give help, but I wasn't at that point. I wasn't trying to derail a relationship. You know, if anything, I think I was encouraging them to make it work. Like, you do this, do that, because I'd rather people like know that if they come to me, they come to me with the right. You know, I wouldn't sit there and go, oh no, that person sounds terrible. There's no point me doing that. I need them to see it for themselves if there's an issue. But realistically, if you feel you want it, you've got to do more. Then try and do more. You know, because effectively, all I want is that person to be happy. And if that person's not happy, if it's not with me, then at least I wish them well. You know. But yeah, I get a lot of signs about people freaking jealous. People try and come at me. It's like realistically, I'm like the lone wolf. I'm confident on my own. Most people, when they try and challenge me, especially intellectually, it's like they can't attack on their own because I just make them look stupid. I'm like 10 steps ahead of most people all the time. I already see the pattern before it happens. Not even with my cards. I know instinctively. I know things. It's like I just know that. That's why sometimes I'm calm in the storm, you know? I already see it playing out. Like, for instance, if we just talk about my ex-partner, for instance, this isn't an attack on her, but I knew how it was all going to play out. As soon as I knew she was in a relationship, I was like, first of all, she hasn't healed. She didn't even give us time to process anything. She jumped into this relationship really as considering this person's her savior, like a new beginning, something exciting, because you've been in a relationship for a while. If you don't appreciate it, yeah, okay. Now, anyone seems better because it's exciting and new. How are they portraying themselves? You don't truly know them. And I was like, this ain't. When I found out about the person, I was like, that's not even an upgrade. I don't know why you've got like googly eyes, but you're not seeing it. That's definitely not an upgrade from me. But think what you want. So I knew at some point they was going to have a reality check where it all comes crashing down because literally they've just jumped in like a headless chicken and just assuming it's all going to be a fairy tale. And I said that relationship just won't last. then they're going to go on a period where they're going to look and realize I've took a lot of time to myself. I've healed. I'm more confident and stable. They'll have a period where they're very vulnerable because they don't know how to be on their own, because they've never been on their own truly, because they always jump into relationships. So what happens when they see me stable on my own, and they're like at this massive crisis in their life, they're going to feel lower than me, even though I'm not competing with them. That's how they're going to be. And then they're going to look on and think, oh, crap, I made a mistake. Meanwhile, I've moved on. I'm not interested. And then they're going to have to go through a cycle of healing, but they probably won't. They'll probably jump into another relationship. Whatever they accuse me of, which they did, obviously I said at the beginning, is probably what they'll experience from someone else, if not the person they're with. So they'll go through a whole lot of life lessons in a period of time when really, if they had healed and took the best decisions, potentially could have attracted and grown into a beautiful life and relationships. Instead, they're going to go down a lot of lessons instead, while I thrive. And it's all coming to pass. I don't think these things to be cruel. It's just I see it all before it happens. And now it's reached that point where they don't spend Christmas together. They don't spend New Year's together. They don't spend Valentine's together. Every holiday she uses the kids as an excuse to go and see her family, even though I don't live there. And as soon as I pick my daughter up, I have to take her straight home to me, which is nowhere near that area. So she's not doing it for them because it doesn't help me. She's doing it to run away from a life that she really isn't happy with. And I saw all that 8 years ago. So when I say this situation unfolding with my person, I already saw it beforehand, but I'd rather encourage them to do their best so they don't have regrets. That's really where that comes from. So I wasn't interested in telling them, leave this person, be with me, be with me. That doesn't serve me a purpose, because then in the back of their mind, they'll always wonder whether they should have tried harder to make it work. So I'd rather encourage them to try harder to make it work. And then let's see if you're truly in love with them. That's how I operate, you know? Do your best, see how it goes. I don't have that insecurity in myself because I already know how it's going to play out. I already know eventually they're going to come back to me because they're my counterpart. I already know we're going to get married. We're going to have a child. And that child will be a boy. We'll have a very good life. We're going to be quite well off financially. All the things we're going through now are life lessons, so we can help inspire other people. We'll be a dream team together. We'll be a powerhouse. We'll help an awful lot of people. People will see us together, and we will be inspiring to people for them to know it's worth waiting for these connections because they're just divine. It's just divine. I'm getting huge goosebumps now. That's not me putting something on a pedestal and saying my life's going to be wonderful because I think I'm amazing. It's not. I know what my prophecy is. I know what my destiny is, and I know how deep and strong powerful this connection is. So based on all that, do I really care if someone is obsessed watching me because they're jealous? Not really. I haven't delved too deep into the idea of what happens to that person when the relationship ends, because that's their journey to go on, nothing to do with me. I don't wish them bad. It's all experience. But what I know on my side is everything that so far that I think and innately know, and then I do my tarot cards on, for the most part, comes true. So I sit here frustrated sometimes that I'm in waiting period when I already know what's going to happen. So why don't we just get there now instead of pissing about? But life doesn't always give us what we want when we want. So anyway, yeah, if people think I'm going to do any deceptive shit in the meantime, you've got nothing coming. I don't need to. I just need to sit here and wait. Literally, I just got to sit here and wait. So in the meantime, I'm going to play some video games. I'm going to watch some movies. I'm going to listen to some music. I'm going to read some books. I'm going to write my books. And we'll watch the pieces all start falling together. Because I don't need to do anything. If something's not supposed to last, guess what? It won't. That's not me wishing someone's downfall, but I'm kind of excited about living my fairy tale now. And all these people that have kept themselves in situations or tried to derail. So, for instance, my ex-partner who tried to cause havoc in my life, they chose a negative path, a toxic path. They're going to have a moment of reset where I'm thriving and they're not now. Like I've always said this to my daughter in the past. There's things like seesaw. So where like a weight. So when one goes up, one goes down. It's just the way it is. So they had their moment when I was at bottom. There'll be a time when I'm at the top, and they'll be at bottom. It ain't my concern. It's like that's just you just got a hill now. You chose not to do it then. So now you're going to have to do it later. That's all it is. You're better off just doing it then. Likewise, when who I consider my counterpart breaks free from this karmic situation, and they're free to now go and fulfill their potential and live their happy life, the karmic is going to have to reset and find and heal from the situation, because the signs I get, and I'm not trying to put anyone down, the signs I get is that they're controlling They're not what they painted themselves to be. They've manipulated. And in all honesty, I wouldn't be surprised. Because if my person considers our connection as strong as I do, I wouldn't be surprised if that person lent on them in a moment when they were weak or struggling or healing. And that person actually tried to come across as their savior. In the same way what happened to my ex, I guess. Although she was she was deceptive as shit. But but it's not my person. But this, in this situation, that person has really tried to portray. They do. A lot of people try to mirror me. So on the outside, they'll try and act like they're me, but they don't have the same energy as me, and they can't sustain it because they're not being true to themselves. But they're going to have to go on their own little journey after to find themselves and make peace with things, and hopefully not treat people the same way they have. Now, I'm not in that relationship, so I can't go into details. I don't care enough to ask spirit. I could ask, is that person toxic? Is that person this? Is it irrelevant to my life and my purpose? All I'm interested in, what does my person think of me? What do I think of them? Is the person they're in a relationship aware of who I am? Are they monitoring me? These sort of questions. Beyond that, I have no interest in what that person's doing and who they are and what their personality's like. It's irrelevant to my journey. So anyway, people can take what they want from it. I can't give a shit. That's the thing, isn't it? As you saw with the swords, I cut shit off. I don't really care. I'll speak my mind. Best thing people can do really is just stay in their own lane. And just start building a better life, because trying to wish on someone else's downfall is never going to elevate yourself. You're never going to get the results you seek. Effectively, you're just sending yourself down a path where you're going to have to go through an awful lot more healing. So the more negative you get, the further away you are from being positive. So now you're going to have to spend a lot more of your life trying to heal that and ascend back to even just get back to neutral, which is such a waste of life. Just focus on yourself. Don't cling to things that aren't supposed to be for permanent. Enjoy yourself and just be happy. And then let life flow to you. That's all you can do. Let things flow. If things leave, then there's normal new beginnings. Chapters end, new beginnings occur. We hold on to a dead chapter. We're just missing out on the new. It doesn't make sense. Anyway, it's been a lot longer than I planned. I thought this was going to be a couple of minutes. We're now an hour in, but anyway, I'll edit this because I can't even be asked.